Here's how to use the power of love to achieve anything you want. So you probably have goals, right? Physical goals, mental goals, financial goals, spiritual goals. However, your goals probably stem from things like desire, fear of failure. Most people, like some examples of this is they'll say, I'll be happy once I make money, or I'll finally be enough once I achieve this goal, or they'll finally feel fulfilled once they achieve this goal. But that is not true. And when you're chasing success to fill an internal wound, that creates resistance from you and the goal. However, love is the highest emotional state. Fear contracts, love expands. Fear makes you play defense while love makes you create. And everything you build is an extension of the state of mind you live in. So when you're living in this state of love and you're just full of love, everything comes to you naturally. And, over the past month, I've just really been focused on surrendering everything, letting everything go, right? Not being connected to anything, social media, business, just letting it all go and just being myself, just being who I am. And what I've noticed is my life quality has gone up amazing. My life quality I've never felt this loving. I've never felt this good before, right? And I've never been creating the best content as before. Life has never been this easy, right? All these things, my businesses are growing, my social media is growing, everything's just flowing naturally because I stopped living in this fear-like state of, oh, I need to achieve this, and instead I just let it go. And what happens is love removes the resistance. When you genuinely love yourself, when you genuinely love everything around you and you realize everything's perfect the way it is, failure isn't personal, rejection doesn't destroy you, criticism becomes feedback, and you stop procrastinating because you're no longer afraid. And you just begin acting naturally. And what that does is it removes all the resistance from you and that goal you want to achieve, man. So you have to become in this state full of love. And what I mean by this, let me give you an example. Let's say someone's a door-to-door salesman, right? There's 3 different states of like mind, right? The first state is probably the lowest state. And let's say this door-to-door salesman, he's like, oh, I can't sell anything, I just hate myself, no one wants to buy from me. He's going to go from door to door and he's going to be in this weird state. Everyone's going to be able to notice it. No one's going to buy from him, right? Then the middle state, this guy, he's doing it out of like pride, anger, right? He wants to achieve. He's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to achieve. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm going to do whatever it takes. That guy will get some sales, right? Some people will, he'll get some sales. However, his mindset's like, I'm going to sell to this person and that person's going to lose. That person loses, I win. He buys my thing, she loses, I win. He has this weird competitive mindset. Then the third person is full of love. He does everything out of love. He genuinely feels love for his product. He goes door to door and he sells his product out of love because he knows it's going to help that person. So when he's not even selling that person, he's just trying to help that person out of love. So what happens is in his mind, it's a win-win situation. That person buys his product, they win, and he wins. So it's this beautiful, loving state he is. He's not even trying to sell to the person, he's trying to help the person. So you have to get into that state of consciousness where you're just fully full of love, man. And love, it destroys comparison as well. Comparison says, oh, they're ahead of me, I need to catch up to them, it's all a competition. While love says, their success proves it's possible. The jealousy disappears, the envy disappears, and you start to learn from others. And it's just such a beautiful state of mind you're in, man. And what you have to do is you have to be conscious. Every time you feel a negative emotion, don't try to like hide the emotion, right? Let the emotion sit there, feel the emotion, and you'll surrender that emotion. And what will happen is once you let that negative emotion come, for a lot of people it's guilt, right? We all have guilt. We all feel like we could be doing something better, right? If you wake up late, you instantly feel guilty because like, oh, I woke up late. If you're, whatever, we all think we should be doing something else. We're always in a state of guilt. Instead, let that guilt be there, feel that guilt, let it go, and what you're going to notice is love starts to come up. You start to feel lighter, you start to feel happier. So you have to just, let love, right? Love surrenders, love, it lets you surrender control, right? You stop obsessing over outcomes. You're no longer worried of, oh, is this going to work out? Is this going to work out? You don't care anymore because you're doing it out of love because you love doing it. You're just doing your best and you just let life unfold. And ironically, what happens is when you stop caring so much about things, that's when opportunities appear. That's when everything starts going right. When you're just let go and you're surrendered and you're just doing what you love to do, man. You got to just stop caring so much and just be full of love. I'm telling you, man, it's the way it is. Because what happens is love, it gives you this courage, right? You know, fear asks, oh, well, what if I fail? What if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? You have to surrender all your fear. And when you surrender all your fear, love begins to ask, what if someone needs what I have? And you're doing this out of love. Okay, I'm making these videos out of love because I genuinely want to help people. I have an app that's helped over 100,000 people because I genuinely want to help people. I want to have this movement where I'm just helping people. I want to live this extraordinary life of helping others, man. And your purpose becomes bigger than your ego. You're no longer scared of failing because there's no fear inside of you. It's just love. And you know, the Bible summarizes everything in one command. No, Jesus didn't say the greatest commandment was to like become successful or become famous. He said, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And when that commandment becomes your foundation, everything else in your life starts aligning perfectly. So, you know, there's some practical ways you can do to cultivate love, right? Every morning, what I do, every single morning, I'll wake up, I'll sit outside. You know, it's been sunny like every single day, which is great. But I sit in the sun and I just sit there and I just, you know, feel all my emotions. I do this throughout the entire day. I feel my emotions throughout the entire day. And if negative emotions come up, I let them sit there, I feel them, and I let them go. And what happens is when you feel these negative emotions and you no longer are, you know, resisting them and just keeping them stuck in yourself and you let them out, what happens is those negative emotions leave and all that's left is beautiful. It's love, happiness, and peace. So this past week I've been doing that and I genuinely have never felt happier. I've never felt more loving. I've never felt more peaceful. So every morning you need to just, you know, pray. Say, thank you, God. Every morning I pray this. I say, thank you, God, for this beautiful day. Thank you for giving me this beautiful body and this wonderful mind. Thank you for giving me everything that I need. Help me, Jesus, to be more loving, to love the way you love, and help me, God, to grow with you this day. I'll say that prayer every single morning. And you need to learn to forgive people. You know, we all hold these little resentments from people. You got to just learn to forgive. Forgive someone else, right? And most importantly, forgive yourself. One thing that I remember every day is when you look at a flower, right? A flower is growing. A flower has to grow. It blossoms. It's this beautiful thing. You're a human being too. You're growing. You're not supposed to be perfect. And what happens is your failures, your mistakes, that's what makes you perfect. So learn to forgive yourself, man. You know, start expressing gratitude. Feel how grateful you are for everything around you, man. Speak kindly to yourself, you know. Make sure you be really conscious of your word. A lot of people, they'll unconsciously like hijack your unconscious by saying things like, oh, like I'm not good at this, right? Think about how many times you say, oh, I'm not good at this. You're making yourself think you're not good at this thing. Just lie to yourself. I'm good at this. Convince yourself that you are, man. That is the way, because love isn't something you wait to feel. You can feel it now watching this video. Feel the love in your heart, man. It's there. So like, you have to surrender. I'm telling you, surrendering is the key to everything you want, brother. It truly is, man. It truly is. So start becoming full of love. And I'm telling you, man, once you're full of love, you have no more guilt. You have no more shame. You have no more anger. You have no more apathy, depression. And you let all these feelings, you feel all the feelings, and you let them go. Your heart becomes full of love, and you're no longer scared of anything. And you were just doing everything out of love. You just love life. Like, I'm in this bliss now, man. Because now I understand. Like, you got to be full of love, man. There's no reason not to be full of love. So, you know, become full of love. Love everything. And one cool fact is they did a study. My camera's dark. But they did a study. I don't know if this is true. I was reading it in a book. It's a great book. This is a great book if you want to read this book. It's called Surrender, Letting Go by Dr. Hawkins. But what they found is that if a person has a dog, they live like 10 years longer. You know why? Because a dog's full of love. They have love in their life. So become full of love. It's the healthiest thing you can do. It's better than anything else you can do, right? It's better than a clean diet, better than anything. Just become full of love. And the way you become full of love is love's always there. It's a default state of it being a human being. But you have all these negative emotions that are preventing you from being able to be full of love. So feel the negative emotions when they come up and let them go. And you're going to become full of love. I love you. Have a good day. Subscribe.